In your face. Social radio. All over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station.
I don't want no problems. I don't want no problems. I keep getting all of these equations and I solve them. Boy, I got this story. Take it, I be doing. Baby, social papayas, Gandhi, money, no. I don't want no problems. I don't want no problems. I keep getting all of these equations and I solve them. Body, ole, lemon. That's why you never ever wanna not get it for mama, baby, no drama. Get to it, stand up for my aunties. 6 more for my bitches. Your girlfriend should be guilty, but she claimed to be witness. Tell me what the deal is, cause I don't really cut wild with differences. Them profits of businesses, we building Pitori kids. Sunday chillers live anyana by my papa. I got them on the line, King Mark franchise. You would think I used to stand on the corners and sell pies. No flies, we just too fly. Pull up and start in any hood I want in Pitori, my nigga, I'm certified. I don't want no problems, I don't want no problems. I keep getting all of these equations and I solve them. Boy, I got this story. Take it, I be doing. Baby, social papayas, Gandhi, money, no. I don't want no problems, I don't want no problems. I keep getting all of these equations and I solve them.
We started off the show with King Mock featuring Bugsito and the song titled No Problems. The music video is out and I must say the visuals are clean. They're out of this world. Too clean. King Mock, you get yourself a fist pump from Social Radio. Boom.
Social radio.
Welcome to Social Radio episode number 30, the Big 3-0. My name is Afilo Molema, aka Ref Mo, and today's episode is exciting for me because I get to chat to one of the people in the industry who make sure that brands are well represented and put out there to the right customers. Today we talk everything PR and marketing.
Social radio.
Our guest today has a fantastic touch when it comes to events management and all things public relations. She has worked with popular brands and artists such as Ricky Rick, Nasty C, Lady Zamar, and Questa. In 2011, Rabi paid her dues and was accepted as a law student. However, her yearning to follow her passion called her back to Mahikeng, where she will spend most of her time surrounded by people in the music industry, being involved with working with the likes of the late DJ Zondi Chakane, who introduced her to the homeboys that were recording music at the time, such as Morafe, Laction, and the late Double HP. On the same year, she joined Mafikeng FM as a radio presenter. Her career on radio seemed like the perfect platform where she found her voice and love for being in the entertainment industry. In 2013, Rabi left radio to study for a degree in communications with the University of Northwest. Certainly, a lady with zest to become better. Following her graduation in 2016, Rabi packed her bags and set her sights to Johannesburg. Her hustle paid off when she landed a job as a PR intern at Sony Music. During this time, which she describes as magical because she was able to work with people that she saw on TV, such as Joya Celebration, Matodanasi Wessel, just to mention a few. 6 months later, she joined Universal Music. Through this platform, Rabi was a coordinator for all local music releases, where she worked with the likes of Prince KB, Lady Zama, Kelly Kumalo, and the late Robbie Malinga. She cites one of her best experiences as having worked on Nasty C's album Strings and Blings, which did very well on the music charts. In September 2018, Rabi left to start her own company, Ibar Publicity, which prides itself on having worked on the highly successful annual fashion and hip-hop festival Cotton Fest, which was hosted by rapper Ricky Rick in 2019 and 2020. Without wasting any time, on the line we have Rabi Mooketsi.
Social radio.
Rabi, welcome to Social Radio. How are you?
I'm amazing. How are you, Ray?
I'm doing great. Please, let's not waste any time. Let's just go straight into it. Please tell us about your PR company.
My PR company is called iBar Publicity. It's actually Rabi spelled the other way around. That's how it came out. My PR company, obviously, I do publicity for, I started with artists, but I'm not just, focusing on artists. I do PR for brands and different corporate companies and events. It all started in 2018 officially. And that's when my baby started, and it keeps on growing and growing every day.
Great. So what made you decide to now want to start my own agency?
I think, it's a very difficult decision to make because most people, when they do that decision, like me, I had a 9-to-5 that was paying me, paying me good. I guess it's a spiritual thing, because it's the risk that you have to take. It's a risk that you need to be very ready for, because from having a 9-to-5, it means stability.
Yeah.
Running a business means a risk. Your salary is not, a sure thing. Are you going to get business? That's the first question. Where are you going to begin? So it was a spiritual decision. It's something my parents have always wanted me to do and always believed that I can do. And I had so many doubts. And I just feel like, guys, I think when the time is right, and if I'm really meant to do this, I will know and I'll make that decision. And that's how I eventually, followed my heart. And God was like, baby girl, it's time.
Great.
And I answered to that call. Yes, absolutely.
So how do you choose your clients?
That's what I'm just saying. That's a very challenging one because I didn't know of you. But I am more of a spiritual person, hence I keep on referring everything to the spirit.
Great.
Firstly, my first client was Cotton Fairs because it was not a thing before we started working on the project. It was a concept. Ricky has always had that dream. I had a guy called Elaine, who was my mentor in this industry. They work for Beanstalk. I don't know this guy. They're in Cape Town. They've been having meetings with Ricky for years, wanting to have this event. One random day, I was going through a lot. I got a call from this Elaine guy. You understand? I don't know this person, mind you. I worked with Ricky when I was an intern. This is like 2017, and I don't think Ricky knows me, but I don't think Ricky would be like, yeah, guys, call Rabi. I want Rabi in my team. You know what I mean? So Cotton Fest found me. So it was very spiritual. And it came at the right time where I needed something. I needed a breakthrough because I had just registered my company. I think my company then was like 2 weeks old. It's very spiritual, this thing. Another client that I work with, for instance, I'm working with TS now. TS, she's an artist from Mafikeng. And we happen to be friends, And I saw that there's really something special about her. There was that connection, and I think perseverance. You also want to work with someone that's really invested in their brand. That really encourages me to then come in and say, what can I do for this person? Do we have the same values? Are we motivated? What can we produce together? Because you don't want to be a company that's spending more time and then your client is relaxing. Your client needs to be 10 steps ahead. Then I come in and I have to catch up or even try to do better. I don't know if that makes sense. So that's how I put one or two together and say, cool, I want to work with this person. That's how I get attracted. But most of the things that I do are spiritually driven. That's how I choose my clients, or how God chooses my clients.
Wow, that's something else. So for someone who's listening right now and they're totally clueless of the PR company, the PR business, like elaborate the importance of PR. What is PR?
Now, I'm going to pretend like I'm explaining this to the parents.
Yes.
Or a person that, just a normal person. What you see on TV, I said this to my little brother. I'm literally called a restaurant. And he's like, Rabi, what do you actually do? Because I think you're doing something cool. And I got it, okay, how do you know of this restaurant? I hear it on radio, I see it on TV, I see it in newspaper. I'm like, that's publicity. That's what your sister does. I plug those people. So publicity, we are responsible for making sure a brand is known, brand is represented well, trying to take your clients to where they want to be, using social platforms, social digital media, digital platforms are more powerful now. Taking them to newspapers, taking them to magazines, to television, to radio.
Yeah.
But most importantly, making sure that, your brand, your public brand is understood, and is relevant and is sold in a way that a person can relate to you. Like, you can't sell Lection or an R&B singer. No.
Yeah.
Well, what does Lection stand for? Well, who are the relevant media? Like Lection is a hip-hop artist. You need to go to hip-hop platforms, hip-hop shows, hip-hop magazines, hip-hop, you get my point.
I do.
So you need to be, it's our responsibility as peers, as much as we do publicity for a brand, publicity for a client, we need to stick to relevant platforms to drive the message and to represent the client for who they truly are. So that's our responsibility. Yeah.
So if one is keen on doing PR as a profession, like, what are the tools will you give to them to achieve that?
Rule number one, baby girl, baby boy. Go to school.
Amen. Yes.
Go to school. It all started there, there was no way I was going to get here without school.
Yeah.
Because school gives you the basic of you understanding. I went to complete my BA communication at Northwest University African campus, and that's where it all started for me. Apply all the relevant courses. There's so much. I always advise people to actually study the whole communications degree. And the best universities, your Rose has the big course for communication/media studies. Northwest University as well. I speak very highly of this university, not because I'm from African or because I went there, but because of what the program has done to me. It literally gives you a breakdown of the entire industry. Then when you leave varsity, there you get to see, okay, cool. Actually, in communication, there's TV, there's broadcasting, there's PR, there's marketing. When you decide, at least you've been equipped with that foundation. So go to school. That's rule number one.
Yep.
Number two, the sky, not the limit. To me, not the limit, guys, because I don't know, our journeys are very different. I was not really, business orientated. I always wanted to learn from someone. I've always wanted to work for someone. So you gotta find that someone has already been practicing, because the generation they're more exposed. Who's this? Mikhali, look at Mikhali, she's big.
Yeah.
She's 21 or 22, and this girl's only studying now, but she's already finding it with going to varsity. You understand?
Yeah.
It's different for everyone. But for me, I wanted to work. Working also gave me an advantage. It gave me an advantage to now get to work with the big guys now. Learn from the big guys. Learn to get and also getting database. Database is very key in publicity. Getting your name known. Also your name, not really your name, but your work needs to speak for itself.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
You can't do PR and you want to be bigger than your artist or your client.
Yeah.
Your client comes first, and only then, when the product is successful, that's when you can say, oh yeah, I did that. That's Rabi's work. Oh no, you know what I mean?
When everything is done.
Exactly, when everything is absolutely done. So that's my advice. Go to school, apply to all the relevant, workplaces, that you want to work from, if you are like me. And if you feel like you're ready, go for it. Register your company. It's free, or you want to go to a company to do that for you, and start. But you can never be ready for anything, and that's what I'm learning. Just go for it.
Yeah.
Just go for it.
No, Lena, I needed that advice. Thank you. So what has been the worst experience as a PR agent?
Guys, honestly speaking, I think the worst experience is now COVID-19. No one ever saw that coming. Never. It literally took me from zero to infinity zero now.
Oh my God.
Because we're used to this fast-paced life. Now, who do we do PR on? What's going on? There's no event. I can't market an event. I can't plan an event. Now, when I plan an event, it gives me money every month as we are rolling out. Let's say Cotton Fest happens in Feb. We start planning now, and they pay me every month. I don't have that. Only now I have a client. I had to pray for that client. I had to pray for a breakthrough, for something to keep my mind busy.
Yeah.
Things are not normal, and it goes for everyone in the PR space, events / entertainment. No one saw this coming. We are trying to come out of that shell, to say, okay, let's adapt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's adapt. Okay, now things are going digital. Let's do something digital and market that. Everything is going on television. How do we get on television and let's push that? You understand what I'm trying to say? This is us adapting, and which is a good thing, but it's a bad thing. But this is probably the worst spirit. I believe that this COVID, this was God trying to shift and change the game. Those that were number one are now coming to the bottom. And the ones that were at the bottom are going to the top. It's survival of the fittest. You're going to adapt them more.
It's hectic.
This is probably the most hectic time, and we are feeling it more in this entertainment space. We thought people needed us, but I know we're realizing a lot of things. We're realizing a whole lot of things now, and we realize that we only have ourselves.
Yeah.
We have to fight this whole thing that's happening. And so this is probably the hardest time, I won't lie. Besides the usual, man, being betrayed. People betray you in this industry, baby girl. You don't have to be strong, it's part of the game.
Wow.
I've been betrayed before, but it's part of the game, then you move on.
How do you deal with that? How do you deal with that when
you move on? Cry. I cry. People think I'm strong, but I actually cry. I think that's what makes me strong. What makes me strong is when I'm down, I cry. When I'm down, I admit that I'm down. And I admit, and also I try to see what has caused this whole thing, and I address it with respect. I pray about it, and I come out of it. You understand? And that's the same thing that has happened. I was down during this time of COVID, and I prayed for a breakthrough, and this is it. I'm busy now. I'm busy. I'm doing what I love. That's my strength. That's how I always do it. And if I've taken you as someone and brought you onto something that I was doing, and then you do something behind my back, eventually I end up finding out.
Yeah.
And I'll let you know that I know what you're doing, but it's fun. God bless you. If that was my purpose, to elevate you and put you in this place, I've done my part. What you do with it, it's up to you. So that's how I always come out of it, even though it breaks me.
Yeah.
It really does, but it's part of the game. You move on.
So before COVID and everything, what's your highlight of your career? What can you share with us?
Yo, my highlight, guys. I think when it all started, so I graduated 2016, no job for the whole year because I didn't apply. I won't lie, I didn't apply. I was still doing my postgrad. And 2017, June, July, that's when I got my first one foot in the game. That was probably the greatest day of my life. When I became, an intern publicist for Sony Music Africa for the local division. That was the most exciting time. And whilst I was in the groove of things and enjoying my time, 6 months down the line, Universal Music, like, yo, are you keen, And that was another highlight. And working for those labels, you get to meet the people you see on TV. You get to know them by, first name basis. You make, their product sell. Hearing it on reading it, like, oh my gosh, that's my work. Seeing your first interview on TV that you were begging for.
Wow.
Those are the highlights. Planning a rollout for an album of your biggest, I was a fan of Dr. Dre before I worked for Universal. Oh my goodness, when I met him for the first time, I was like, I'm gonna die now. Yo, I'm gonna die now. Because it was just after his Fill Up the Dome concert, which I really wanted to go to, and tickets got sold out. And the Sunday afternoon, I got a call from a friend who's like, Rabi, come. I don't care if it's a lost beat in that venue. I am going. And my life changed. And I became more of a fan then. And a few months later, I'll be in the same space with this guy. You see how God works.
Amazing.
Those are the highlights. Just before I left Universal, then I got to work on probably the biggest hip-hop album. One of the biggest hip-hop albums, Nasty C, Strings and Bling.
Strings and Bling.
Listen, I was part of that rollout. When I look at that product, every time I doubt myself, I remember such things. The highlights of my life. And I can proudly say I was part of that team that released your Lady Zamar's most successful album, most successful singles, Prince KB, Dr. Dumi, Kaya Tetra. I can go on. The list goes on. The list goes on and on. Teleman. The list goes on. So those are the highlights of my life. My achievements, my highest point, like every day was like a dream. Going to work was like a dream. This was all I've ever wanted. And my parents never understood that eventually they got to see the pictures. And obviously basically opening my company. I'm still new in this business thing, but I push. Giving up is not an option, and the more I don't give up is the more opportunities God keeps on giving me. So those are the highlights. And Cotton Fest, obviously, that's my baby. I love it so much. Yeah, that's my pride. That's what gives me joy.
That's incredible, eh? So where can people find you on the social platforms?
On Facebook, Rabi Mooketsi. Also my page, iBar Publicity on Facebook. Instagram at iBar Publicity, at Rabi Me. Instagram is at Rabi Me.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for talking to us, Raleboga. Thank you so much, and continue staying blessed.
Thank you so much, guys. May this platform grow and grow and grow. Thank you so much for touching lives. Thank you for recognizing, us as well. Blessings and blessings on your platform, and thank you for this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ref. Thank you, Lexion.
Bye.
Bye.
That was Rabi Mooketsi. What an incredible interview. Thank you so much for listening. Do not forget to follow us on our social platforms at socialradio_SA. Thank you.
I don't want no problems. I don't want no problems. I keep getting all of these equations and I solve them.